Okay, so this is EBENLO coming at you from Southern California. Come around. And I'm working on a John Mayer caricature. I don't know the name of it yet. I haven't finished it, and I usually finish it and then name the caricature. I told you before that I'm not going to show you my reference photo because I do not want to be beholden to it. The truth is that I used several reference photos to come up with this image of exaggerated image here. The shirt in the reference photo is a different color. The base layer on this shirt that I'm making here is gray, and I've decided I'd like to go ahead and just make a make the shirt in this Bohemian Green Earth by Williamsburg. I probably won't mix it much. I'll probably just add medium to it. Maybe a little bit of yellow to bring out a little more greenish looking color there. A little more bright green than what that Bohemian Green Earth is. I'd like to do that next. And I want to finish blocking in the blacks, at least on the strap. And this is sort of a rose color, dark rose color, maybe like a burnt umber with a little red in it, all the way up to here. And then I'll make this up here a little more maple looking, which I believe is traditional to have a headstock be maple. So yeah, and then I'll block in the hair with brown, at least in the this side, and on this side of the line I might as well just go with a dark brown to almost black. So that's my task for today. Let's get started. Can you twist it, untwist it? Yeah, this one's okay. I don't need to use the plumber wrench here for this one. I'll just do a little line of it. Can you see that in the frame, I wonder? Yeah, just a little bit. I kind of go like that, because we're not going to be working on his arm over here much today. Alrighty, that's probably enough green, just a little line of it. You know what, I better give just a little bit more. Okay, that'll be enough, I hope. I really hope, because I don't want to have this be two colors of green. That would be tacky. I'd have to restart, but I think I'll be good. These oil colors get spread pretty thinly over some space, and it still covers pretty good. So yesterday when I did the skin, I forgot to add some linseed oil, so I'm going to do that first right now. Some refined linseed oil here is what they call it. It's a binding agent, but it also helps things dry, I think, anyway, personally. Dry quicker than just oil from the tube. And then I have a line of some medium here. Daniel Smith's Artist Materials Painting Medium for Oil and Alkyds. I'll just, since it's not going to be a tint, I'm just adding it for a little bit of a drying agent. Just a dab, a little bit will do well. Alrighty. Then you grab your palette knife and go to work, mix it up. You know, a lot of people wonder why paintings are, like fine art paintings, are worth so much to people. The fact is every moment in painting is another thought, really, in the process. It's a process of problem solving, and when you're done with the painting, you've solved all those problems. You know, such as composition. How are you going to make it interesting for people to look at? You know, how are you actually going to achieve the right colors that you desire to communicate whatever you're trying to communicate? For instance, this green is a little bit of a, lately in society, a warrior color because of the army, battle dress uniforms for the military, you know, things like that, camo. So, and John is a bit of a musical warrior in his own right. We may not agree on everything, but can agree that he's a musical warrior. And I'd like to reflect that in this painting. I would enjoy that look, and I believe I'll enjoy it when it's done, looking like that. So anyway, thoughts, huh? Thoughts go into the strap, you know, what color actually is it going to be? Is it going to be a black, or is there going to be blue in there? You know, there's all sorts of little problems you have to solve along the way to a successfully completed work and a successfully communicating work. Alright, here we go. I'm going to start up here on the left like I always start on the left. I didn't add any yellow to it yet. I'm just going to check it out real quick, just see if I like it in this little spot. I don't think it's, well, the thing is I could do this color and then add the yellow to a highlight color. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and add a little yellow right now. And I need the pliers with this one. There we go, just twist a little with the pliers and get it going. Alright, here's just a squeeze of it. That's plenty. Yellow's a weak color actually, so I'm going to do 2 dabs of it for this one. You can hold the paint a certain way. This comes from experience. You can hold the tube a certain way so you can suck back in some of that paint, so you don't waste any when you cap it and have it smush all over your threads. Alright, here we go. And let's get palette knife going again. What you do is you just take it and work into the yellow right away. Like I said before, yellow is a very weak color, so you don't want to overwhelm it too much with the green, the dark green just yet. You might have some better luck achieving a kind of a brighter dark green if you do it like this. Can you see that? It's kind of barely there on the screen, but you can kind of see it. Okay. Well, this is a much brighter yellow than that, but I like it. So I'm going to apply it. I'm going to use the same brush, but I'm going to mush it in a little bit there more, so that way the the green that's on the brush just gets mixed in with the color. And liking this, I'm going to try it out. That's much brighter, almost too much brighter. Let me think for a second. I think I need to add in a little bit of more darker green. Now next try, I'm going to use a fresh brush. Mush it all in there. Spin it around a little bit. I think it's a much better color. A little darker. A little more army green instead of mustard green. So I'll go over the line I just made. See if it helps. That totally helps. That mustard turned into a much nicer color. And it's covering nicely. I'm liking what I see. I'm going to go all over with it. I like it. Nice. I like this one. This color is a nice color. He looks a lot like a GI in a green A shirt, which I think you see that a lot in the Army. And I just like the look of it, so I'm proceeding forward. Okay, well, I just about got this part blocked in. Next I'll block in this area right here and here. But you know what? This area right here has got a little bit too much transparency for my taste. I'm going to dip it into the orange that I mixed yesterday and see if I can get some good coverage in this area. I think it's looking pretty decent. The final end result is not going to be this orange. You'll see as you go along, or as I go along, I guess, that the orange you see now is only going to be in certain parts of the painting that are like shadows of skin. That's what this orange will become, shadows. And with a certain amount of red in the skin tone in the orange, you get the effect of blood underneath the skin. That's why the skin is orange, is because your skin is a certain color, your blood is a certain color, and they meet in the middle, basically, to become a different color. Alright. I'm pretty pleased with that look right there over there now. Other than the hand, I'm not liking the hand right now. It's a lot darker than this area, so I'll cover the hand with orange as well again, so I can get a better opacity on this skin. If you happen to make a mistake at this point, it's still early in the game, and really, there's no mistake really, I think, that can't be fixed or improved upon. For instance, a mistake would be shooting the hand and putting some color into the guitar, you know what I mean? And since I haven't worked on the color for the guitar, it's fine. I would just cover it with the guitar color when I'm ready to. Okie doke, that's pretty good right there, I think. The end result of the hands are going to be they'll have a lot of light pink in them, honestly. And this area of the upper top part of the wrist will have some of the orange because it's a shadow area. Alright, I'll continue on with my green. In the tiny areas that need it. This is a tiny little area that needs a bit of green. Press really lightly and you'll not put green into the skin area because you're not using the full extent of the brushes, just the tip. Alright, just use the tip right here, kind of screwing up right here. I'm getting some paint into the orange. What I'll do is I'll get maybe a Q-tip with some turpenoid on the end and just wipe off what I don't want. That should work. Okay. All right. That area is done. I just need this area to be green. Okay. I'm liking what I see so far. And going around the guitar area, the cutaway. Can you see that? Okay, good. It is almost done. And there you have it. I like that look for John. Okay, that's 2 brushes down today. And now I think I'm gonna just grab some kind of dark brown, if I got it. I think I got a dark brown somewhere around here. Blue, green, Meridian. Okay. I got a French gray and an Italian yellow ochre. If you add ultramarine blue to Italian yellow ochre, you'll get a brown. And the way that works is you've got colors that are at the opposite side of the spectrum. Usually make some kind of a muddy looking color when you mix them. There's my ultramarine blue. Okay, these 2 colors, see that? Mix them together and you'll get a decent brown. Put it right here so you can see the process. Painting is a equally amount of wiping things down as it is of painting. You need cases of paper towels in this painting business, or at least a case of paper towels. You don't want to run out in the middle of a painting, that's for sure. At least in the middle of a moment where you need it. Okay, here we go. Let's see, do I need it? Yeah, this is on real tight. Plumber's wrench. It's not gonna take much to do the hair, so I just want to dab and then press on the sides to suck in the paint again, and then boom. Okay, here's that ultramarine blue I was talking about, and it is too tight as well. Now I got strong hands. I can usually get something that's tight loosened up. Especially like a pickle jar or a freaking tube of paint. But nope. The binders really get stuck. You know, sometimes the glue really makes it stuck. Okay. Well, I might have gotten too much blue on the palette. If I do, then what I'll do is I'll grab some of this green, add some red to it, and keep rocking, because those are at the opposite ends of the color spectrum, and they will make mud as well. And that's what I'm looking for, is a kind of a muddy color. This is actually looking pretty good. You got too much blue, so I'll separate some of the blue over here. But it's a pretty good one. I'm gonna add some white and some red to it, lighten it up just a little bit. This is titanium white. It's made with, I think, burnt titanium or something like that. It turns white, and then they use it for paint. All these are minerals or ashes or something, and duh, I have a white already on the palette. I should have just used it. What am I thinking? Gotta use my resources wisely. Alright, here we go. I like titanium white better than the white I got on the board anyway. On the palette anyway. It's a very permanent color. Okay, add that to the dark brown. Now I'm making too much. It's too white. Let's take a look at what happens here. Add some of the blue again. Okay, I'm gonna add all this burnt umber. There's nothing in there. I think I kind of hosed myself. Actually, this will go good on the left-hand side because it's kind of a light blue now with as much white as I put in there. This will go as a highlight color. Totally. That's what I need for the highlight. So it's kind of serendipitous the way that worked out. Now, I've got some burnt umber here, I think. What is this? Italian burnt sienna. It's actually a brown color already. So it's probably going to be suitable for what I want. I might have done it when I started, but I just felt like mixing the brown this time. But I'll mix this in with some of the color there. Maybe some of the blue. Make it a darker brown. I'm going to add some medium to this. Where's it at? It's right under here. Yes, it is. Okay. To both. Again, that's just for hoping that it'll help it dry quicker so I can continue progressing quickly. This is a pretty good brown color with this, a little bit of the blue in it. I'm liking it, and I think what I'll do is I'll just I'll paint it over the areas that I'm talking about on the edges over here. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, here we go. Gonna be painting soon. Let's rock it. There we go. Okay, I started down in the lower right, and that's not good. It's not smart. You gotta start on the left-hand side again. Okay. Oh shoot. I don't want that. The anchor finger is not good in that orange. That orange is not dry, nearly dry enough yet to anchor in there. So I'll have to anchor elsewhere off the orange. Okay, here we go. In this area, the left will be the light blue, and the shadow will be this brown color I'm working in. And on the right hand side, you'll have the shadow color I'm working in on the highlight, and then maybe a blue brown, way more blue in the shadow areas. So I'm liking that look in my mind as I look at the reference photo. Now the thing about reference photos is you'll get trouble if you make your painting too much like your reference photo. You'll get trouble if people think, oh, that looks exactly like my photo. Exactly. And what happens is they will contact you and tell you to cease and desist with putting that work on t-shirts or whatever you want to do. Just because you copied somebody's photo doesn't mean you're allowed to put it on a t-shirt or put it on a print. That's not what you want to do. You do not want to copy people's photos. That's why I do not like the teaching people how to copy exactly. It's brainless. Why would you do that when you can just keep the photo? So you need to learn to be creative and do something different with your materials. So that way it is original. You won't get letters from photographers saying to cease and desist. For instance, I did it once. I made my caricature very unique, but I made the background just like the photograph reference. And I got a letter to cease and desist. They didn't want me putting that image on photographs. And the caricature was spot on. It looked exactly like the people, but it was exaggerated features. And I did a grand job at it, at that part. But since I made the background too much like the photograph, I was basically screwed. So I have buried that, so to speak, within my archives. I don't use that painting anymore for anything. So, and that's a shame for a nice caricature to be buried like that in an artist's archives. You know, you effectively throw it in the trash when you do that. Let's see here. So there's that. I think I'll add a little more white to it after I finish this part right here. Here's a little spot that I need to make that right there. And then here's this right here. Boosh. I like that word. It's my word, basically. I've not seen it on the internet other than I just made it up one day while I was playing Fortnite. And instead of saying boom, I said boosh. And my family caught on to that. We all say boosh, at least some of us do. And I even made a hoodie for my sister with the word boosh printed on it, with a rocket launcher image above it. A lot of people like that Fortnite game. That's a lot of fun. Especially with your friends and family. Getting to know each other better. Challenging each other to do better. My 68-year-old mother actually plays. She's getting tired of dying, and I think she needs to learn how to build a little bit better so that way she dies less. But try to tell her that. She's like, oh, I don't know, I can't do it. Yes, you can. It's really easy, just a couple buttons. You can do it. Well, anyway. So I'm almost done with this section of the hair. Alright, I like that. Now I'm just going to take a little white and just pull some off and go to mix in the highlight color of the brown. I'm liking what I see, so I will go over about here to the rest of it. I shouldn't paint here first, but oh well. I feel like getting that part done. Okay. So if you haven't heard it yet, you should check out Good Night by EBENLO on your favorite music provider. That song to me sounds like a standard. Sounds like it could be one that a lot of people enjoy and really grow to love. I had a friend who used to play it every night before bed. Unfortunately, we had some sort of falling out, and we don't talk anymore, which is really sad. But what you gonna do? You can't please everybody. And if you do every once in a while have a moment of mental instability or illness, you could say something that somebody doesn't like and they'll hate you for the rest of their lives. Unfortunately, I have a few people like that, but what can you do? I mean, if you gotta express yourself, you gotta express yourself. You gotta say something, say it. You know, if you absolutely have to. If not, if you don't absolutely have to say something, then keep your dang mouth shut and don't burn any bridges. No, it's not all about keeping your bridges intact, but it's better to have friends than to not, I think. You don't want to end up kicking yourself just because you open your mouth. Which I no longer do anyway. I just figure after 10 or 15 years, I figure it's on them. You know, I made an honest mistake at the time and opened my mouth about something I shouldn't have talked about concerning them, and they decided I'm not their friend for the rest of their life over one thing that it screwed up on. You know what I mean? You'd think it had enough social clout to still be their friend after making a mistake. But what you gonna do? You can't please everybody, and it's not worth it, especially if they're not forgiving a person. You don't want to be around that kind of people anyway. I don't, anyway. So, more's the pity. A facetious Irish phrase for you. More's the pity. All right. Just about got this area done. And what I'll do is I'll come down here with the darker brown. I'm liking the way it looks though. It doesn't have any highlights in it. It's just got the block going on for it, but I'm liking it so far. All right. I'm done painting in that color, I believe. I got a little bit down here, and the rest of what I see is a darker brown. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix the same brush into with that darker brown and put it right over here. Just a happy little strip of hair. Pull a concept from Bob Ross. Everything was happy. Happy little trees, happy little bushes. What a good old guy that guy was. Alrighty. There's that. Now I'll grab another clean brush and I'm gonna do this area in the blue that's on my palette right now. Add a little bit of white to that blue because it's kind of a highlight color. Mix it in a bit. The color that's already there. Look at your reference photo, make sure it's right, and go to work. Okay, this is kind of tricky because I don't want to anchor in the orange.
just a little bit of color here. So don't get too crazy with it. Alright, there's that area, and I'm just doing my best to stick true to the shape that I laid down in the outline, because you do that stuff for a reason, so that way you have a structure to your painting. Okay, it's just about where I like it in that area. I think you do like that. I'm gonna add a little bit more above there in this area of color. Just almost blend the two, and I like that. It's good. A little dab on this hair here. Okay. Well, that's the t-shirt and hair. I think lastly I'll take some burnt sienna, and just paint over this area of the guitar and over the color area of the guitar as well. I'll lighten it up just a little bit, maybe make it a tiny bit redder. I think what I'll do is I'll go burnt umber with this pink flesh tone. That might give me what I'm looking for. Just got a hunch looking at it. And when you get those hunches, you might as well follow through with it, because it could be God telling you something, or the universe telling you something. Get just a tiny bit of medium, because I would like it to dry quickly. I don't want to have to spend forever waiting for something to dry, so that way I can keep working on it, you know? So you gotta add medium, add medium, add medium. Well, that's a really lighter color than what I was hoping for. I'm going to add some more burnt sienna. And mostly working the burnt sienna for now, so that way I don't get too much of the pink. Add medium again, just a drop. Alrighty, let's mix that up. I'm liking what I see. I already had enough pink on the palette knife to lighten it up just a bit, and I like the color I see, so I'm going to work with it. It's going on the guitar here. Uh-oh. Don't anchor into wet paint. Start from left to right. Here we go. Can you see it? I hope so. Okay, well, this guitar has several different colors, but I think this basic block in of this color is going to serve well for it. Okay. All right, there's that section. I'll keep rocking. I think there's kind of a gray color right here, but it does have some of the brown down here. So just roll with the brown that you're working with. For now that I'm working with here is what I'll do. And add the gray later. You try to stay within the lines so that way you keep the structure of your outline. At least that's what I'm deciding to do here. Alright. And that is how you do that. Part of it. Last one there right here and here and here. I'm going to make the line of it right like so. this brush is a round one, and you end up having to go on its edge to get the rest of the paint that's on it. But I like the way it's looking so far. Okay. It's looking like cherry wood to me. Something like that. Or rosewood. Something really like that. Rosewood being commonly used for fretboard wood because of its hardness. Does not easily deteriorate or wear down. Okay, well, there's that part of it now. Pretty much done. I like the way it looks. And let's move on to that section. Look at the photo. It's really a lot of yellow there, but it does have some dark spots. So I'll use this color as my dark spot color. Almost done with this color. Just finishing this little area right here and we'll be all set. Okay. There you have it. I think I'll use it for this shadow over here too. If I decide to change it later, it's no big deal. They're very small little areas here. Okay. It's pretty good. All right. That brush is finished for now. Now what I'd like to do is use some of that yellow ochre and paint on the headstock. Italian yellow ochre. Okay. Looks like I got a little medium that I didn't use with the kind of cloudy looking blue. So I'll use that for this ochre. Okay, just grab it over here like so. I think I might add just a tiny bit of yellow, maybe not. Nah, maybe not. This yellow ochre is gonna serve nicely for probably even the shadows that I just went over right now. But it'll mix with those colors that I put in there, and it'll keep it more shadowy than that other color that I'm painting right now. Okay. All right. So there's that. Next, I want the stripe to be black, kind of black gray. Base color is probably black. So I'll add a little of this gray blue to the black and get the color I want. Be resourceful and use what's on your palette already. Well, the black's kind of dry. I got some in there. It'll work. It's not much color to work with or to paint. Okay, I want one of these. I want to add a little turpentine to it to make it a little loosey-goosey. And I just noticed I forgot to mop up the green that was there earlier that I didn't want on the page. So I gotta fix that. Okay. That black strap is done. One more brush to clean. Clean. Alright, let me grab some Q-tips over here. Maybe 2. Probably need 1, but what the heck. Dip it into the turpentine here. And I'm going to try to just wipe it off what I don't want. And I was able to use the other part to spread it about like that. And I'm done. Toss that Q-tip, save the other one for later. And for now, we good. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Please comment. Let's have some interaction. Tell me what you're thinking about, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. All right. Love you guys. Cheers and peace out. Stay blessed.